Hey sisters, I just want to talk to you today about the inner she and the outer she. Now that's a concept perhaps we've not really talked about before, so I just need to share my heart with you on what I see the inner she and the outer she as being. So it's fairly obvious when we really think about it. The outer she is the the outward expression of who we are. And the inner she is the girl on the inside, the spiritual sense. So how it works is that we express our inner she through the outer she. Okay? And the stimulus that we have on the outside, the outer she, can affect who we are on the inner she. They will work together. So this is really something that I've kind of thought about quite a bit, and it's really from my own heart. So I just wanted to really share with you how I see that works. The feminine is a duality in that sense, and what we've got on the inside of us, that is our feminine place, that sacred feminine place where we can express our femininity to the max. Remember, we talked about the three feminine superpowers: creativity, intuition, and healing. So those traits are developed on the inside of us. They are our inner she, and how we think about those and incorporate those in an active way into our life determines how much of that comes out of our inner she, and we can experience that on the outside, and of course other people can experience that on the outside too. And that's really important because other people can only experience us from the outside in. Does that make sense? The yes, the outer she. So the outer she is the part that the world sees. So if our inner she is not feeding that in a really healthy, positive way, what we're going to present to the world is going to be damaged goods, or evil. I'm not saying that you and I are evil. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is whatever's on the inside of us comes out. And so if we've got malice or hardship or trauma or hatred or unforgiveness or these kinds of things on the inside of us going on in our inner she, that is what people are going to experience of us as an outer she. Similarly, if we line ourselves up and we make an intentional decision to line ourselves up with good things, then we are absorbing that through the outer she to the inner she. Do you see what I mean? So it kind of feeds itself both ways. So these two elements of ourselves are our expression of our divine femininity. And we want to be in a place, don't we, where the baggage that we hold, our traumas, our issues, our hang-ups, our fears, we get those things out of the way so that we can operate in the world as divine feminine beings to fulfill our divine purpose. Remember, we talked a little bit about that before. So we owe it to ourselves really to really get to grips with this business of the inner and the outer she, and be actively, deliberately, intentionally dealing with ourselves at this level. So the challenge for us is to some people call this raising our frequency or raising our vibrations to operate in a deeper place of love. I think that's absolutely right, although I would like to suggest that it's not about going up a level. I think levels are to do with hierarchy and ranking, and I think that's a male construct. So what I'd like to propose is that we think about this in terms of depth. Do you see? So we're going deep rather than up. And what we're doing is we're going deep inside ourselves to find that place of pure love, because it is inside of our inner she, and it's sitting right there, but sometimes it's struggling to bubble up and come out because we've got things in the way. Now, for some of us, these things are huge things. We've been through terrible things as female beings, as women, as girls, and we need to begin to find a way in our lives to deal with these things so that we can operate in a place of love. Because what we need to do, if we're to gather together and rise up as women, is we need to make absolutely sure that the next generation of young women and girls comes through with less of our baggage. Do you see? So all of the things that have affected us, for better or worse, we pass those things on to our daughters, our young women, our girls, as a kind of legacy. And of course, we don't want to pass on to them those things that we found traumatic and difficult and issues to deal with. We want our daughters and young women to be raised up with us in a place of love and light. So we've got to really be intentional about this, because we can't help the baggage that we've got. What's been is done, isn't it? So what we've got to do is we've got to intentionally live in this place of the inner she from a different way, and be absolutely determined to bring our daughters up in a different way to how we were treated as women. We've got to give them a different message about the feminine than we've been told ourselves. Now, this is a huge challenge, because we don't really understand what that looks like, because we've not been taught it ourselves. So we are trailblazing here. We're paving a way here, but this is really important. So, and I believe it's a personal journey. So we really need to get to grips with how this sits with us as an individual, and as we gather and as we raise together, and as we talk this out as a community of gathered women, I believe we'll come to a better consensus. But for right now, I believe this is an individual basis. Now, some of us are going to need help with this, because some of us have had terrible situations, and we're unwittingly passing our fears and our traumas to our young ladies. So if you need to, if you feel that there's things in your life that's unresolved, that are holding you back because of things that have happened, have not been your choice, and have not been things done from a place of love and light to your soul, then it's time to, I believe it's time to look at that in your life, in all of our lives, and get these things dealt with. So I would really urge that you find a trusted female that you can pour your heart to, and maybe some kind of counselling or some kind of therapy is appropriate. But let's look at this from the place of raising up that inner she in a place of love. Let's look at this in a new way. It's not healing for healing's sake, it's healing's sake for a purpose. And I know I'm going really deep now, but this is my heart, that we walk together in this beautiful place that only us women hold in our hearts, that our next generation of young women will be able to do this so much more naturally than we've been able to. We need to be able to be in a place where we can gift that to them. But it does start with us, and it starts small. So this is my heart, and I want to encourage us all and share this message to us all, because it's time that our young women have a different message, isn't it? We all know, we all feel this call, and we look back and we think, gosh, if only things had been different in my life, if only I had known how to assert myself or communicate better, or if only that hadn't happened, or if only some woman would come alongside me and show me the way. And we look back and we long for those things because they haven't occurred in our lives. So let us be that catalyst for our young women, because it's so desperately needed. We can't And we can't go back and change what's happened to us, but we can certainly help our young girls, our daughters. How I see it is very much that the baton has been passed down. We are in a long chain, if you like, of women, and we can look up our chain at the ones that have gone before us, and they've paved a way for us to be in the place that we are in now to bring about change. They started that journey, and so it's our turn now to hold that baton and pass that on to the next generation of young women. But what that looks like, of course, from generation to generation is different. So this is me really being intentional and delivering this message, because I really feel that it's an important thing to kind of grapple with. And I know that we need to have lots of conversation and discussion around this. So I really would urge you to come join our Heart Maidens Facebook page and post all of your thoughts there, because I know I'm going deep now, and I love this. I love to go deep. You know my heart. I love to go deep. Because I feel the call, and I just know it's right. And if it's right, we need to stand together in it, because we need to be gathered up women together. Love your hearts.